Hello and welcome to the Ukulele Podcast Live. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. Joining me are Mr. Aaron, the voice Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
And Mr. Kahai, the legend Fergan. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
So, we're counting our blessings, gentlemen. You know, we did have a tsunami warning for Hawaii this morning. And then as of 12:20, maybe like 40 minutes ago, they're like, nope, no tsunami here. Right, Kahai? Are you counting your blessings right now?
Yeah. Can you maybe? I'm gonna mute your lapel.
Yes.
Can you move it to someplace else?
Okay, I sure will.
Wait 1 sec. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, what's up, gentlemen? It is Aloha Thursday. See, now you got me all frazzled, guys.
Sorry.
On right here. Is that cool?
We'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better? All right.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Put it on my. So now I can't take the sweater off, no matter how hot it gets in this room. No, it's been rainy. It's been kind of cold. It's one of I love this kind of weather.
Us.
Not too cold where like I'm just freezing my toes off, but it's like it's nice to just put something on just to feel warm. I like warm. I like to feel warm. I don't know tsunami for me, but yeah, I come into the office and Kahai is like, guys, there's a tsunami warning. I'm like, what? And I start pooping a brick, and I'm like, oh no, what's going? Should we keep going? Should we do the podcast today? And then, boom, Twitter was like, nope, no tsunami. I'm like, oh God, I love Twitter. Just always there for me,
Twitter told me.
Twitter told me that there would be no tsunami today, Kahai. So you can rest assured that things would be okay. Are you all right back there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure something out. There's like some sound coming from somewhere, so I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Maybe what it's some kind of.
I think it might just be like the mic might be weird. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, should I just not use the mic? Maybe just use the one that the audience can't see. I'm pointing here, and they're like, "What is he pointing at?"
I think that might be the one that.
Oh, is it because the fan's on?
Yeah, it might be just the angle or something too. So.
I see. Could we keep going? Is it kind of
you can keep going.
All right,
I'll try and fix it. I'll try and figure it out.
Okay, cool beans. So, Ukulele on the Ground podcast, what we do here is basically we ask any and all of your ukulele questions or non-ukulele questions. We don't care. Just ask us whatever you want, and we'll try to answer it as best as we can. I'll try to answer it as best as I can, and these two guys will come in with their 2 cents to add on to our collective 6 cents. And that's the best answer we can come up with for you folks. So ask away. We usually get questions via email, via phone call, via voicemail, via text message, via what else? Websites, forum posts, whatever you guys may have. Send it over to us, and we'll try our best to answer it. So Kai, are there any questions to start us off with?
Yeah. So the question we had today was from Rudy, and he said, "Hey guys, I've been playing for about 8 months, and I'm having trouble barring the first fret. I can actually bar okay until I add my other fingers to play a chord. Any tips for working on this? I'd also just like to say the whole UU staff is great. I've learned so much in the last couple months since becoming a member. Thank you."
Aww. UU staff. See that, Kahai? See, you're appreciated. Staff. That's not UU Aldrine UU. That's UU staff. That's not me.
Yeah. Sometimes people think that the staff is Aldrine, and then sometimes people think like, don't you guys have like 100 people working for you?
It's never just like
kind of
the 4 people that actually works here.
What about that one other guy, Greg, who works? Like, no.
Yeah, there used to be 5, and now we're back down to 4. So for those, I know that's not a question and stuff, but for those of you folks wondering, there are basically 4 people that work at Ukulele on the Ground that do all these things. So we're not like some big production, whatever. 3 of them are in this room right now. Like there's really only the 4 of us running this entire operation. So thank you so much for believing in us, for for subscribing, for signing up for UU Plus, or anything that helps support us, and helps keeps us doing this. So we really appreciate it. And we've been doing our best for the past decade, and we'll try to do our best for the next couple more decades, right, guys? I will die with this place. I hope, Anyway, so to answer your question about bar chords. So as far as bar chords goes, you're saying first fret, but let's just, for the sake of it, let's just do the second fret, just so that you can kind of get a clearer view. Because if I do it here on the first, it gets kind of tough to see. So a few tips that I have for people who are doing bar chords for the first time. The most common mistake that I see with bar chords is a lot of people tend to think that they have to keep this finger straight. So here it is from the side view like this. That is going to be like straight down like this, okay? And that's not the case, because when you do it straight down like this, as this finger kind of goes down, as you go down the string, there's actually less and less support for, the strings in the bottom. Listen carefully. That's why you get that tone. How you're supposed to hold a bar chord is actually this knuckle here should be just below the fretboard, and you're actually using the roundness of that knuckle to kind of wrap around the fretboard. So this goes around like this, and what this does is this bend on that knuckle. Make sure to support all 4 strings, because you can support it from here. Your fingertip and all that is all good, but you need to kind of bring this in. And this goes hand in hand with what we always tell you folks to straighten out this wrist, because if this is straight like this, and that means this wrist is bent in a weird way, okay? Move that wrist back and make sure it's nice and straight. And that's, how we kind of hold. This is the most common thing that I see from people, okay? So just take, and I've explained it this way. It's kind of like a slap bracelet, where like the neck of the ukulele is like your wrist. You're supposed to put a slap bracelet on it, and your finger is the slap bracelet. It's gonna like boop, wrap around. See? It's gonna go like this, like a slap bracelet. And the bending part is right here where the knuckle is. The knuckle, if you have a small finger, then maybe the knuckle can go on top, but for the most part, the knuckle is down here. The second thing is a lot of people tend to go a little bit too high. So, when if the finger is up here and that knuckle is on top, that's how you get that, that sound as well. And same thing, it goes hand in hand. Once again, I'm getting that wrist to bend all weird. You want it to be straight, and it's kind of tough to get that wrist straight if your finger is too far up. So it's about right here. You want the tip of your pointer finger to play that fret. So G string, second fret in this case, and then like a slap bracelet, wrap it around. I'll show it from this angle once again. So I'm playing that second fret, and it wraps around like this. Okay. The second problem, and this one is not as important, but really, support-wise, it matters, okay? So here on the back, I have my thumb, and it's a little bit offset, so you don't want it to be in the same fret as the pointer finger. I know a long time ago, once upon a time, we had a show called Uke Minutes, where I was like, you want to pinch the chord in that same fret and whatever, but no longer, because we've noticed, and I've noticed, as the more I play, I'm actually feeling a little bit of pressure here as I kind of hold it like that with the grip that we taught all the way back in year 20XX. I don't know what it is. And then so I'm like, there's gotta, that can't be good for you. Okay, so what I did, just to alleviate a little bit of that pain, is to just kind of offset it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in that same fret. It can be maybe halfway down or 1 fret back. It doesn't matter, as long as it's not directly behind the pointer finger, so that you have a forward motion with the thumb and a kind of a come hither back, it's here with the pointer finger, like so, like, hey, you come here, kind of like that, right?
You're kind of you're pushing on either side of it, right?
Yeah. So you're using that. So instead of trying to pinch that chord together, these two are actually working together in different ways, instead of just squeezing in, and that's what kind of hurts this part of your hand right here. So just offset it just a little bit, and you want the thumb to be kind of pointed this way. Instead of it pointing straight up, you want it to point a little bit this way, so you get more coverage on the back. So if it's here, you want it to be like this. It's wider, so you get a wider coverage of the neck, okay? So that's, That's really most of the common problems. And with anything, you know, the more you play it, the better you'll get. Now let's address the other thing that you were talking about, which is like once you know, you can kind of bar, but once you add things to it, then it tends to get a little bit difficult. And you know, I'm gonna go back to like if your pointer finger is straight like this, adding any kind of chord is going to be super awkward and very hard to do as well. So if you're holding it correctly, the other chord should come just as easy, okay? Because of this this bend here with the, you know, with the pointer finger on the knuckle, show it from this angle again, kind of lets your other fingers bend in a more natural way. If this is straight, then see how like awkward that feels for the rest of my fingers. Like one is kind of curved out and the ring finger straight, the middle finger is kind of bending this way. But if I move this back down, see how like normal my fingers look as opposed to this. So when I take off my ukulele, it just looks like that, where I'm right about to make a fist. Okay, so the more natural it feels, that's actually the more correct the chord, or how you're supposed to hold the chord. If it feels awkward, and it probably is an awkward way that you're holding it. So
that's a good test though, right? Like you're saying, like hold the chord that you are holding if you're having a hard time, and then take the ukulele away from it, and then see like what kind of shape it makes. If it kind of like, if you can just naturally close your fingers together, that should be a pretty good shape. If it feels like you're gonna make more of like that puppet right kind of shape or something, then it's like probably not the best shape.
Yeah, a lot of people do the E minor and they have like their, you know, their wrist all the way out like this, so then the E minor kind of looks like that. No, it's still this kind of straight wrist, and you're gonna get it. And then the B minor comes right after. See how my wrist doesn't really like bend? So when I play C, G, B minor, A minor, F, G7, C, this wrist remains nice and stable, okay? I mean, there's a slight bend, but it's nothing like this, you know? Where it's just like, here's, I guess, the most straight that I can get it, and then maybe like this. Just a tad, okay?
You don't want to go the opposite way too, right?
Not this way, yeah. So a lot of people do that too. When they play their chords, they use this part of their palm, where like if you're having problems with your, you know, with your joints and your fingers, maybe, you know, you might want to support it from here, but you know, for the most part, you don't necessarily want to grab the ukulele from down here. So if you're playing E minor, for example, if you're grabbing it here, that's what's causing this bend on the wrist to do that. So you want it straight and the thumb up here. And we've talked about this a few weeks back, where there's no shame in having your thumb up here. You don't necessarily have to have your thumb in the back always, because if I had my thumb in the back and I took my uke off, it looks like this, you know, where I'm doing this like weird snake bite thing, right? But if I had my E minor, put my thumb on top, took it off, it looks like this. Yeah.
The kind of the bar chord thing too, though, right, is that you don't necessarily want your palm to be resting flat on the neck, like just straight flat, but it's not bad if there's like points of your palm touching the neck. So you don't need to be afraid of if you're doing a bar chord and you're trying to do like a, you know, like a B flat chord shape or something, and you have to kind of swivel your wrist and a part of your palm touches the neck, then that's fine. That's
another thing too is when you're doing the bar, try to, and we've talked about this before, try to stick closer to the front of the frets. Okay, so here's the whole fret, right? You can either hit the middle, which would be right here, or the front of the fret. And I'll show it from this angle so you guys can see. So the silver, you know, part on my fretboard is called the fret wire, right? So you want to stick closer to the front of the fret wire like this. You can even touch it if you want to, as long as you're not on top of it like this. So you can touch it. So just kind of make sure that you're in front of that fret. Because the further back, even just a little bit back, see here? It's not even on top or anything. And it already sounds wrong. And I'm holding it like how I normally hold it. I'm just moving it up here. Also, make sure that you're not holding this bar with like a with an angle like this. That's how you get that as well, okay? Because Because a lot of the times, you say like we play the G chord, or or anything like that requires us to kind of angle our fingers this way. Then they try to do the bar from there, and they keep the same angle. It doesn't work. You have to straighten out the fingers like this, and then boom, slap bracelet around to get that B minor 7 chord. Now this applies for the first fret as well. Okay, when you add your other fingers, if you're doing this correctly, it shouldn't be too bad. It's just kind of like adding fingers on, and it's gonna feel good. Like once you'll know that you got the bar right if it feels okay to move your fingers on top of that bar.
But like when you're holding a shape where it's a bar, and you're using your middle and your ring finger to hold other strings to, you also don't need to like worry about trying to keep the same exact pressure on the bar, your middle, and your ring finger. Yeah. Because your middle and your ring finger they're gonna be holding the string down anyway, right? So those strings that you're holding down with those two fingers,
on those,
you and it's not like you don't want to totally relax, but you can kind of like it's almost like you're not worrying so much about keeping that bar super clean.
Well, the other fingers overrides that. That's why. So it'll that's kind of one way to think about it. If something's overriding it, then you shouldn't be too worried about that string.
Yeah. If you're playing like the strings or the frets above the bar with your other fingers, then you don't need to worry about that string with the bar itself.
Yeah. So. Okay, cool. Hopefully that answers their question. Next.
Okay. Do you want to do the student review we got?
Okay. So student reviews, what they are basically, if you send us videos of yourself playing, we can kind of give you a review and assessment on how you play it basically, and we can give you advice on how to make it better. All right. So we got one from
Chris and Sue.
So Chris and Sue resubmitted their song that they wrote for the intro of Ukulele Underground podcast. So last week, if you guys haven't heard the intro to the podcast from last week, that's Chris and Sue. That's their song that they resubmitted. So they resubmitted it after getting some comments on on what they can do better, because they submitted it before as a student review, and now we're gonna re-review them, I guess, and then give them some more tips. Okay, so tip number 1 for I think tone-wise, the tone is a lot better. Yeah, but Sue, you're kind of when you're hitting the strings, I noticed that your pinky finger, instead of kind of what's the word here, anchoring this way so that you have the angle that your fingers are playing is more like this, where I don't know how to show that there. So you're kind of hitting it from this angle and then kind of pointing up like this. So it's more like you're hitting the strings going this way than you should going kind of more straight up. So when I have my pinky finger, it's down like this instead of down here. Because if it's down like this on the side, then that's how you're gonna get that kind of hit where it's diagonal towards the back end of the ukulele. You want it to go towards you like this, because the reason why is because the more angle that you give towards this way, the more you're going to be playing with your fingertips. So it's like the fingertip is hitting here and then kind of up. It's not necessarily the best hit, but if you hit this way, you're gonna get this much. Oh, no, you get that. See that? Okay, there. You're gonna get that much density from your flesh, rather than getting this kind of hit. So I'm not sure I don't know how to get that angle. Here, there, perfect. So like this, you're kind of hitting it like this. So like towards yourself like that. It should be up. Okay. It's tough, one of those over the shoulders kind of shots. But yeah, so if you just change up the angle, just kind of move this up a little bit, so that, see how like the angle kind of changes, going from here very light and very bright kind of attack. It gets a lot more rounder. There's that bright attack that you're kind of doing, which there's not. It's not a. I mean, it's not wrong. Like you're still getting the notes in, but it just sounds more rounder. You hit it from here as opposed to hitting it from this side. See how thinner it gets when you kind of lean back on this pinky finger. So I like the fact that you're trying to anchor with your pinky, but the anchoring shouldn't be from the side of your pinky. It should be like this, kind of. I'll take my fingers off. Oh, this way. It should be like that. There you go. So that when you play, it should be like kind of doing this instead of going this way like this. It should be up this way. Okay, so that does it for the attack. The timing is better than the last time that we heard it, but there seems to be something going on timing wise between the both of you, and I don't know if it's Chris like trying to follow you as best as he can, so that he's waiting until down Sue, by the way, until Sue like plays the note, and then he'll come on. So it's kind of like we were saying earlier. The way that I kind of describe it is as if they're playing what you call like rhythm chicken, where like one is waiting for the other to like to get on that downbeat. If you rewatch it, okay, if you rewatch the video and just count out 1, 2, 3, 4, like in a steady manner, then you're gonna notice what we mean by like sometimes it's late, sometimes it's too early. Like really like clap it or tap your feet and find that after, though, not during, because during, when we're tapping our feet, when we're doing that, there might be a hesitation. So if you watch it back and try to do a steady beat on top of the video, you're gonna notice where those problem spots are and who's late and who's early, as far as both of you. Chris, my advice would be to like listen to what Sue is doing, but you want to make sure that you're setting the tempo, okay? That like that Sue is doing her picking based on your rhythm, okay? Where you're following her, sure, but she is doing her thing because you're keeping things steady. And does that make sense? It's kind of tough because you're kind of following each other. Whereas Sue does have the main melody line, but Chris has to make sure that Sue is on time.
Like there is a particular part where we heard Sue waiting for Chris to hit beat one, right? Yeah. And it sounded like Chris was waiting for Sue to hit beat one. Yeah. So both of them didn't play. And then when they both kind of tried to jump in, then it was that's where it kind of had that like that lag. Right?
And there's a part too that Aaron mentioned where like it's like the upbeat before the one, where like she was supposed to hit
the note is like, or the phrase starts with a pickup note.
Yeah, pickup note.
So actually the second note should be landing on
on the beat one. Yeah. But it was more towards beat one or the pickup note, so it just seemed a little bit staggered.
Yeah, that might be part of it. Right?
Yeah. So just it's really a lot of review if you do that often, where like you film yourself and then watch back what you guys filmed or how you guys played, and then count like just count a steady beat, and you'll see where those problem spots are going to be. And then it's something as simple as, okay, we know that we always either drag or rush here, so next time we play it, just be aware of of that trouble spot and see if we can play it on time. Really, that's it. I think the song sounds awesome. I think the way you guys play together is great. It's just consistency, I think, in rhythm is what needs a little bit of work.
Something else that I wanted to mention, or I wanted to suggest to, is that there's like a part in the song where they both move up to Sue is picking up higher in the fret, but Chris is using like inversions up on like the neck, right? Yeah. And it's all right, but when you do that, and because you guys are both playing ukuleles, it kind of like it's harder to hear Sue's picking, because Chris is also playing like around the same range of notes that she's playing to. So I would suggest like maybe holding back and playing inversions that are just like open chords or down at the first
don't
fret.
Move up together.
Yeah. So like Chris playing that like might want to play down at the first fret or down like you know just playing open chords.
Yeah.
And then when Sue moves back to going to just playing like on
you can
low,
go back up.
yeah, then you can use inversions. But when you have both, it's kind of it's just something that it's like a little detail that you want to be conscious of too, right? If you're both playing in the same register, then it's harder to hear the details of one person.
Yeah.
You kind of just have like a more like of a blob of sound rather than like, oh, that's really crisp. It stands out because she's playing a high note and he's playing a low note. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's actually it'll be a really cool arrangement. Like when you hear it that way, where like two parts are moving, you know, like in two different ways. Where like Chris goes low and she goes high, and then she goes back low and then he goes high. Or it's cool. Like that gets me excited just thinking about it. Like, oh snap, what? That sounds awesome musically.
Yeah. It's like something that like when you record songs too, right? Like you want to be sonically aware of like where does my instrument sit in the mix of the recording, right?
Yes.
And so you don't want to overlap multiple instruments in the same spot, or usually you don't, because then it's harder to hear whatever instruments are there. So
yeah. But other than that, I thought it was better than the last one. So, yeah, definitely an improvement. But those, you know, just little trouble spots here and there. It's worthwhile to take a listen back and count. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next, Kahai. Do we have any questions from the audience? We are live, so you guys can ask us questions that you guys thought of on the spot right now.
Yeah, Jim has a pretty beefy one. So
oof, I like beefy. We were there. We had some kangaroo like meat. It's not beef, but you know, it's some kangaroo meat. So it's a meaty question, like kangaroo style.
He said the ukulele oversoul videos are awesome. I know the sound is multi-channel and mixed, but it is exceptionally clear. So question relates to the open mic and broadcasting from the desktop. I have tried a number of options, but the audio is always ordinary. Can you comment on the hardware and configuration for getting good audio in Zoom? I acquired the new Logitech StreamCam, which is good, but I'm still trying to get good audio. I have discovered that I need to be close to the camera for better audio, but further away for the video, which is a challenge.
Dude, it starts off like an Aldrine question, and then it ends up as a Kahai question, like towards the end, right? Because it's two different things. I mean, the Ukulele Oversoul video is really, it's me recording it on Pro Tools first, and then I'll make the video afterwards. So it's not like I'm, and I've mentioned this on my Instagram while I was trying to hype people up for the video that was coming out today, that like, you know, yes, I do pre-record the songs first, and then I'll make a video from that recording that I did. So it's not like I'm playing them live or anything as I'm recording them. They are pre-recorded. But I also showed in that same, on that same clip where I told people that on Instagram that, but if I took a screenshot or a video of the Pro Tools session that I was doing, and there's no cuts. It's all one take. So it's not like, it's not done live, but it is done in one continuous take, instead of like, okay, well, I'm going to move this note just a little bit so everything's perfect. Like I don't necessarily want it perfect. I just want it to sound good quality wise, which I'm guessing is what you want too. So it's a little bit different because when I do that, after I'm done recording or getting the track into Pro Tools, I then go into Pro Tools and add things like compression. I add a little bit of reverb. I EQ the ukulele just so that I can contour it to whatever sound that I want it to sound like. Maybe a little less highs. The ukulele tends to be on the high side. I cut the high just a little bit and boost the mid so I can get a beefier tone. I add about the 10 to 15% reverb. And I add like I said, a compressor, just like a clean, more of a clean limiter than a compressor, because I don't necessarily like a compressed uke sound. It's more just a clean limiter. And then I also do a slight mastering to it. So there's a lot. It goes through a lot of a lot of things before it sounds the way that it sounds like on the video. Now, as far as for say something like an open mic where you're doing it live, you kind of have to get those settings dialed in so that when you just play, it's what comes out. Some things that you can do is, for example, on if you plug into a DI, you can kind of set the DI to whatever EQ that you want to make it. But if you're using a microphone, make sure you EQ that microphone and you add, some things in there like limiters or compressors or whatever it may be, to make it sound as good as you can. But I'm gonna pass it over to Kahai because I don't know what kind of stuff that you can add afterwards, because I don't do things live.
Yeah,
so
and
like
specifically
it's tough.
for Zoom, right?
Yeah,
Over
if it's a Zoom thing, it's gonna have to be a live thing. Because for me, it's like I think of it more as a recording session than it is as a live session. Yeah, that's how I approach the Ukulele Oversoul videos. And if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, follow me. I post all the time about like the behind the scenes stuff that that I do for those Ukulele Oversoul videos. Even for things like this, I think up on the roof, like I did a behind the scenes of us filming it up on Aaron's roof, And so follow me there. It's got a lot of like really neat stuff that I just post randomly.
What's your username for?
Aldrine Machine.
Yeah, we'll put a link to that too.
Aldrine Machine. It's on my Instagram stories, so like it's there for a day and then it's gone forever.
Yeah.
Kahai, go ahead.
For Zoom, it's hard. I know like when we did the last open mic, people are like, "Oh, how do you guys get like a clean sound?" And I think the way Jim is trying to do it is just by using one camera source, right? And the video from the camera itself and the audio is what he's using. But what we have going on is we have multiple camera sources and a whole like audio interface that is just handling audio. So that's kind of what makes it sound better. And even like you said, like I'm running it through OBS. And in OBS itself, I have like I think I have a limiter, compressor, and like a noise suppression and stuff too. So yeah, there's like things going on, and that just getting that figured out. Like earlier, people were saying the video was delayed, from the audio, and the reason it was doing that was because I put an extra delay on because I had to calculate the delay for Zoom between the program that we use and Zoom. So it can get pretty complicated. So but I think the easiest way to get better audio in Zoom, if you're performing for like open mics in Zoom or you're using Zoom as like a place to play music, you can do this setting called original sound and just turn that on. Like dig through your settings and find that and turn that on, because without that on, Zoom puts on a bunch of filters to make it like it puts on its own like noise gate, and it puts on like reverb cut and all these things that usually like if you're just talking, it actually does help. But if you're trying to play music, then it hears like the music as like, oh, that's just noise that we're gonna try and take away. So
not voice,
right?
And talking voice.
And I say that to a lot of the private students actually, because especially those ones like the ones that I'm working on with like the intense kind of songs that they're learning, like Jake's kind of songs or stuff that I do. Once they start banging away on their strings, like it tends to Zoom tends to like bring it all the way down because there's some kind of suppressor or limiter that they have on there to make sure that it doesn't peak. So I usually tell them that like, no, just turn on the original sound, dig into your settings like Kahai was saying, and turn that on. And as far as that goes, like when I was doing Zoom stuff, when we were doing the Allo Friday live shows, right? I plugged into, I have a quartet that is basically my hardware that goes into Pro Tools. So the quartet, it's like a 4-track kind of recorder thing. So I plugged into that. And then I plugged my ukulele to, I believe, the LR Bags DI, and then I had a pretty good microphone. So the microphone I couldn't really do much to, but the DI, I added a little bit of of EQs on that because I can do that from the DI. And then in the settings that I have on my computer, I went in and kind of did a little bit more EQ from there, just so that it sounded like how I wanted it to sound. Because the signal coming in from the DI when it goes into the computer is a little bit too hot, so I turned down the gain from the computer so that I can get a good signal coming in from the DI to the hardware. So it's complicated, man.
Yeah,
It's,
I'm sure.
yeah.
I mean, Jim has microphones.
Yeah, he has good mics.
So if he can figure out how to select the microphone input within Zoom, or have like an audio interface that he plugs the microphones into, and then select that as your audio source in Zoom, then it'll be like a lot
infinitely better. Yeah.
Yeah, just instantly a lot better than just using your whatever default computer source.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. Just go configure your audio settings and set the audio source to whatever hardware that you're using. Because I'm sure Jim has some kind of hardware that he's plugging into, right? So just set it to that, and then whatever comes out of that goes as, you know, whatever goes into Zoom. So that will make things a little bit better.
And then that what Rob and Kahai mentioned, the original sound, make sure that is on.
Did Jim play last time on last month's open mic?
I don't think so.
Right?
No.
Yeah. Are you gonna play today, Jim? Because we have an open mic today.
There, yeah.
Yeah, we saw Jim, but you know, I don't know if he played or not. So
yeah.
After this advice, we better see you on there now.
Open mic today, after this.
Right after this.
It's hard though too. Like, you know what Aaron is saying. Like you just select the audio interface in Zoom. The audio interface in Zoom, if you have a different audio interface and you have a camera going, it can there can be a delay between the two.
Oh yeah.
And you gotta figure out a way to do that. So that's and for that, like people ask, you know, like I've seen people put up tutorials online and people ask us like, oh, how do you fix that? But it's really how I fix it is like I clap and then I just try and match up the audio to the video. And how I do that is like I'm really like counting frames to see how many milliseconds of delay I have to add here and there. So it's pretty hard to give one advice for, you know, every setup that's gonna work, but
it's gonna be different for everyone based on like the computer you have, how much lag it has, and like maybe just for that day even, you know, like because your internet might have something to do with it too, like as far as lag goes. Sometimes there's no lag, so it's tough. There's not one end all be all solution. Unless you're Ukulenny, maybe, you know, he seems to always got it for some reason. He's got like 5 million things happening too, you know. Dang.
He's got his looper set up as well.
Yeah, he reminds me of Rick Doug, or like he always has like these nifty little gadgets, you know. Like, shout out to Rick Doug. It's been a long time. Because Rick's always like, whenever we visited in SoCal, he's like, well, I got this whatever amp in my car. Like his car's got like an entire sound system in there, and you know, and like and all kinds of nifty gadgets. It's really cool.
One of the OG Ukulele Underground members.
He's a cool dude. We got a couple of amps from him, you know, like that I still use today actually. Pretty cool. Next, Kahai, any questions from the live chat?
No, I think that was it. People are talking about the open mic right now.
Nice.
Talking about who's gonna show up and if they're gonna play,
you know, as always, I'm not gonna base it on how many people we had last time and how many performers we had last time, because who knows, you know, like the hype might die down and we have like 5 people. I'm going to be happy if we get 1 performer. That's not us. Okay, so as long as I'm gonna set it that low, my expectations for everything, so that I'm always happy whenever something, you know, like exceeds it. So who knows, Kahai, we might get 100 times what my expectations were, right? 100 people? You think we get 100 people playing today?
I'm not sure. So far, but Rob is gonna play. So
there you go.
Yeah, he said he's signing up.
It's my quota, man. If Rob, even if Rob doesn't play for the whole hour, you know, he can do so. That's still successful to me.
Marima kind of said too, talking about like looping and stuff, right? Yeah. She said that because I posted in the forum like a place that you can send in questions to Andrew for next week. I posted a video of him playing Get Lucky, I think.
Yeah, Daft Punk.
And he's using a loop pedal too. So if you guys want to ask questions about that kind of stuff, he'd be probably a good person to ask.
Yes. Yeah. So Andrew Molina coming next week here on Ukulele on the Ground podcast. First of many guests that we will have. We'll have awesome guests and very special guests like Mike Odo, like Mark Baldonado. just on our our list of awesome celebrities that we can get for this podcast.
I'd love to have Mark back on again because we only had him on one time. So
dude, Mark was on my video today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, but did you see it, Aaron?
Yeah.
I need to show you guys. So the audience knows what Mark looks like, right? And then down to the man bun, buddy. Like he's
we can check it out after, right? So
yeah. Here we go. So I got it right here. Boom. Mark Baldonado, Marky B.
Nice. Yeah.
There you go in the close up. There. Oh, where's that? They're perfect. He was in my video for Ukulele Oversoul today. That with the man. It's Heather's makeup work. It's amazing. I've got a great makeup artist that works for me in those videos, and enough costume changes that would make any entertainer proud of me, you know. I got as much costume changes as maybe Lady Gaga, perhaps. Kahai.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm looking for my meat suit. Once I get my meat suit, it's over.
I forgot about that one.
Right on. So, open mic coming up at 2:30, right after the show, or half an hour after the show ends. But today, okay, how do I put this? Today we have our songs due for the songwriting challenge, but why don't I let Kahai explain it to you? What's going on today with the songwriting challenge? It's still happening, right?
Yeah, I think so. I wasn't sure if
No, I wanted to, just let you be the judge if we're gonna have it today or not. So I passed the buck.
I don't know. Because we could either. I know that I'm not the happiest with my current song. Yeah. It's all right. But yeah, there's problems with it.
How about we show what we have?
Yeah.
Okay.
That might be
cool. This would be a good lesson for people because they can see where we can take these songs that we have right now. 2 weeks in 2 weeks, because I don't want to do the songwriting challenge when Andrew's here. I want to give Andrew the whole hour. Yeah. So the week after next week, we will have our songwriting challenge songs due again. So we are going to show what we have today. And then, a nice little lesson for people like, man, that song sounds so much better than 2 weeks ago, right, Kahai?
Yeah.
So it's going to put pressure on me to make this song better, to make it better.
Like Chris and Sue, right? Like they sent in their song after they kind of worked on it too. So, right. Yeah. Well, we'll
okay, so we'll do. How about that? Okay. So what's going on with you, Aaron?
I'm going to go first.
Oh, so you have something. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. On.
No, I'll go first because I don't have anything.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought right on. This is good. So all three of us. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, and it's cool. Yeah. Like we said, everyone knows this. Everybody gets one. Aaron has not used his one yet. So this is his one. I've used mine. Kahai has used his. And Aaron has used. Everyone gets one up.
I think technically me and you have used our one a couple times.
People don't. I expect people not to remember anything past 5 episodes. So we talk about strings all the time. You know?
I know.
Everybody has one, and then it's new every time.
Well, everybody has one per year.
It's a renewing one.
For good behavior.
Yeah.
you get that one for
stars
for being for good behavior. All right, so we all get one. Kai didn't need to remind you that we both have used it already twice. Whereas this is Aaron's serious first time, I think. I don't think he's ever not done one. Have you missed one?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's
There's
the Eagle Scout of this trio.
I think there is one time where we ended up pushing everyone
everybody.
back.
But he had something, you know. But
I don't know. If
I think he did.
I think that was the one that I remember because I wanted to hear him play the song.
Yeah.
He said he came up with a song about his neighbor's dog barking.
Oh
instead.
yeah.
And then you came up with a completely different song afterwards?
No. I think it was not something that I could sing on this show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta wait for the EP to come out.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I was throwing around some ideas early on, and then none of them. I was not happy with any of them, and then I got sidetracked and I didn't do it.
You know, we got things like tsunamis to worry about. Guys, you know what I mean? Like
something else too that this might be good is that if you guys, I think there might be people who try to make songs and then they're like, oh, this isn't a full song, I'm not gonna submit it.
Yeah,
you guys should just submit whatever you guys have, you know. And it'd be cool if you guys do submit like, oh, this is what I have done with my song so far, and then maybe in another challenge you can show the completed song too, right?
I submit incomplete songs all the time, so like today, for example. All right, so what this is for people who are confused are like, what are they even talking about? We do a songwriting challenge at least, you know, every other month here on Ukulele on the Ground podcast. We give you guys a guideline of what to write your songs to. It might be a key, it might be some chords, it might be a subject or whatever it may be. We'll give you those guidelines on what to write your song or how to write your song, and then you just come up with a song. Basically, that's all it is. And then ours is usually due in 2 or 3 weeks, and the audience is usually due within 4 or 5 weeks. And we pick of all the people who send in songs, we pick one, and we usually treat them to something nice. It may be an extra lesson. It could be like some some stuff that we get from Hawaii or whatever it may be. We try to reward them and just try to encourage everyone to write songs with their ukulele, because really, creating music has just got a different like rewarding feel to it than like if you learn a song like that somebody wrote. It's like, man, I know how to play this song. But when you write something what is yours, like there's just no comparable feeling to like creating music. So we like to encourage people that.
I think you can get better too by writing songs by like saying like, I want to make a song that sounds like this.
Yeah.
And then figuring out what are all the components of your goal song that makes it sound like that. So you learn techniques or you learn things, and I definitely had things that I learned that I'm good at for this thing, and things that I'm not good at for this challenge, this particular challenge. So.
Yeah, and it helps you appreciate music more too. Like the more when you write stuff and you realize, man, this is like not easy, like to create music or to write music. So then next time you listen to something, you're like, man, like I can't believe somebody created that, or somebody wrote that, or somebody put those words together, or put those chords together. It just makes you appreciate music that much more. So I suggest everyone to try it, even if if you're not going to submit it or whatever for a show. If you just write, that's all we ask for, is just for you guys to just create ukulele music. Okay, we have a whole archive of these challenges, so if you want to do one, if this challenge is like, I don't know if I want to write a song in F or write about spicy songs and stuff, it's just pick any of the other ones that we come up with, or just write one with your own parameters to it. It doesn't matter. We just want people to pick up their ukulele and create music. Really, we just want to make art.
I think, or if you come up with a challenge that you yourself did too, feel free to post it in the thread, and we might use it for the next challenge. So
you never know. You never know. All right, so our parameters this time were, Kahai?
The main one was write a song in F.
Yes.
And then the bonuses were write a song about spice, include what inspired your song, include a F augmented chord. And then we had like a suggested chord pattern of like 1, 6, 4, 5.
That's that augmented. Okay, I'll go first. And I already forgot how my song went, so I might have to run it just a little bit. It's like I'm gonna put it here so I can look at the list. So I wrote a song in F. I didn't necessarily do the 1, 6, 4, 5 and stuff. And I wrote a country song, and it is about spice or whatever, or however you interpret it. I've been thinking about, I've been thinking about the way you make me feel and the way you keep me warm. You're like the hottest cup of tea. I want the world to know how much I'm burning up for you. Ain't no ghosts, no snakes or reapers can change my mind about you. Can't stop the fire from getting kissed by you. No amount of water to stoke my love for you. 'Cause darling, I'm just too hot for you. I've been thinking about the way you make me feel and the way you keep me warm. You're like the hottest cup of tea. I want the world to know how much I'm burning up for you. Ain't no ghosts, no snakes or reapers can change my mind about you. Can't stop the fire from getting kissed by you. And no amount of water to stoke my love for you. That's it. 'Cause darling, I'm just too hot for you. 'Cause darling, I'm just too hot for you. 'Cause darling, I'm just too hot for you. Hey. One verse. That's why I'm just like, mine is all right. It's just incomplete. It's just one verse and chorus.
That was pretty good.
It's my it's my best country song that I've ever written. I think
I have less than that. So
my best one country song that I've ever written.
Something I was talking with to my dad about these challenges is that I think another fun part about them is a lot of times we bring in our songs, right? And then somebody else, one of us, the three of us will be like, hey, doesn't that song sound like this other song? And it's like, oh yeah. And like sometimes I know you guys tell me, oh, your song sounds like this. And I'm like, that is exactly what it sounds like. And I had no idea that that's what I was going for. So yeah, that's like, it's, people worry about like being original, but it's like, every song is kind of like
there's like a trillion songs out there. The chances of it sounding like one of the other trillion songs pretty high, so don't even worry about it.
And everybody has influences. So
because like even that song, right, there's like a part in there that it sounds like what is it, You Are My Sunshine, like don't take my sunshine away. That part in particular is like, oh, it's the same kind of line. So
I was thinking of "Are You Missing Me" from Kyle Crater Boys, and also "The Wonder of You" by like I forgot who sang that song. That's the wonder of you. And there's that other one that sounds like "Are You Missing Me" from the first Kyle Crater Boys album. What is it called?
Goodbye, I'm Leaving?
No. That too. It kind of sounds like a Kyle Crater Boys like country song, like Padiola song. That's what I was going for. And I'm like, I haven't written a country song before, and I'll go do that. Because it sounds like, I want to do like I want to do a spicy love song. So I'm like, what better way than to, hop in my truck and just... Yeah, that's my song. One verse, one chorus. I'll put a second verse and I'll put a bridge in there. Okay, in 2 weeks.
So this song that or song air quotes right song
okay,
because it's even shorter than I think the theme song that I wrote last time. So it's pretty short, and I at one point I was telling Aaron it's 3:00 or today. It was 3 a.m. today that I was still writing this, and I couldn't figure out a way to end it. So I just slapped a chord on it, and I'm like. I think that doesn't really work, listening to it, but I just put it out and ship it out, and hoping to get at least a C from this.
A wise man who is on his way to become a doctor. My Dr. Cabalteja once told me that C's get degrees. Yep. So it's a good good thing to aim for.
Yeah. And we're doing makeup, so it's perfect.
Yeah, we're doing makeup. It's fine,
I'll try and come back after this and have a full song. But yeah.
Go ahead. You can listen.
Yeah. And I based this song directly off of something. Yeah.
Hey, that's not bad. That's pretty good. It reminded me of Cowboy Bebop in the beginning. And then
yeah.
Where's that from? I know it.
It's exactly that.
It's Cowboy Bebop still?
It's Tank. Yeah.
Tank. Yeah, Tank.
It's based off of that. So having that bass line that just repeats over and over. And having the horns going over it.
Beans. Yeah. What was your inspiration? Yeah.
Well, I wanted to write. When I thought of spicy, I was like, jazz is pretty spicy.
Okay.
And that Cowboy Bebop theme is so in your face.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. So I took that, and I was telling Aaron I pretty much took that song structure, and then I arranged it for a F, and then I put my own horn section on it basically. So instead of the bass line going da 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 da, it has a ascending bass line. So I was kind of thinking that that's kind of the spice building in your mouth.
Okay, all right.
And then the horns going pop 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 pop. That's the spice hitting the back of your throat.
Okay, we're getting visual.
But
dude, it sounds awesome. I don't know why you're
maybe you can help me with this though, because the last chord that I'm playing, right? So it goes da 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 da, and then that's the F augmented chord.
Yeah.
And then I tried figuring out what it can resolve to, and I threw in a bunch of chords, but I just couldn't find one that fit with that.
Go to the D minor from there, da 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 da, or whatever, maybe just
go back.
It'll resolve to the D minor, and if the D minor is where you started anyway, it just goes right back to that.
Because you use a major chord, right, for the.
I use F major, I think.
Yeah.
To try and well, at that point I was just it's 3:00. I gotta ship this off.
Put some chord there.
Yeah, because now that you're now you're talking about it, I can hear the bass line going do da 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 do da 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 da. Building. Oh, dude, it's awesome. I love it. I really like it. God, good job, man.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to come back with a little bit more. Try it.
All right. So those are songs. If it inspires you to write something with those parameters, go ahead, send it over to us, and we'll consider it, and we'll put it in a hat, or put it in a wheel, spin the wheel, or take something from the hat, and we'll give a nice little something. But just do it for you. If you're not doing it for not doing it for us to submit, do it for you. Really, that's all we ask for. We just want to inspire people to create music with their ukulele. Okay, we're learning all these chords and how to play this thing. Now let's all apply all that knowledge knowledge and create beautiful music together. Okay. All right, guys, that about does it for this episode of the Ukulele Underground podcast. My name is Aldrine. Check out ukuleleunderground.com. Sign up for UU Plus if you have not done so already, and you can take some private lessons with yours truly. I'll make sure that you get on the right track, or that you learn everything that you ever wanted to learn on the ukulele. All right. Also, we have we put up our brand new ukulele tutorial just a few days ago. It is up on the roof by the Drifters, so make sure you check that out. Also, Puahone came out as a Ukulele Underground Plus solo. So for all of you folks who are subscribed to UU Plus, we have solo finger style. Oh, people like to use that word a lot. Yeah, I know how to use that word.
Chord melodies.
And chord melodies and finger style. It's just like,
I tried.
Every song uses your fingers, right? Like,
yeah. In some kind of style.
it's some kind of style. Like, I don't understand, but
I'm so out of tune with the current trends and stuff, because like on the Puahone preview,
right.
I tried to put hashtag chord melodies.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that with the hashtag you can't put a space, so it's just like hashtag chord. I was like,
And
so
call
old.
hashtag melody.
Yeah.
Gonna have to get more specific. Yeah, but you know, after the show, we do have an open mic. If you're listening to this as a replay, it might have gone, you know, passed by already. But we have an open mic every first Thursday of the month. So that means right after this show live, you guys can check out our Ukulele Underground open mic by just simply logging on to Ukulele Underground, and we will have a link on the banner. Just click on that banner. It'll send you over to our Zoom room where you can watch or participate in the Ukulele Underground open mic. We'll see you then. Or we'll see
to anybody.
Anybody,
too, so.
anybody. It doesn't matter if you're an Ukulele Underground subscriber or if you want to just share a song. Okay, we had someone with a with a Briguinha, I think, like last time also. Like, so it doesn't even have to be ukulele. Maybe we just want to hear music from some people, preferably an ukulele, but we just want to have some fun. Okay, with you folks and with whoever else that has a song to share. Okay, and if not, we'll see you tomorrow for a little Friday Live Jam. Keep it locked on to Ukulele Underground. We'll see you next time.
Oh, Andrew, next week.
Andrew, Molina, next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Send us your questions for Andrew, or think about your questions for Andrew. Yeah? We'll see you next time. Aloha.